Hi, I'm Suzy Badaracco, president of Culinary Tides. We're a fractional foresight and trends intelligence team for the food and beverage and neighboring industries. This presentation is a condensed version of the full session I delivered at the Fast Casual Executive Summit in October of 2025. In this shortened format, I'll walk you through the key insights and takeaways we covered so you can quickly get up to speed on the trends that matter most. If you like access to the full deck, there will be a QR code at the end of the presentation where you can request a copy. Or if you want to learn more, feel free to reach out so we can keep the conversation going. And so now let's begin with Culinary Horizons, decoding flavor patterns for tomorrow menus. First, we're going to look at how to get ahead of consumers. So we want to stop playing catch up and understand the why behind consumer choices. So there's two sets of drivers you need to understand that are motivational. Psychological is the first set, right? So with your product, with your brand, are you trying to tap into authenticity and cultural connection? Or maybe you're looking to tap into hunt for uniqueness, or what you offer is permissible indulgence. Maybe you do wellness, personal growth is part of the brand. It could be nostalgia and nostalgia, and let me tell you the difference. So comfort food is children's food, like hot dogs, hamburgers, simple pizza, spaghetti, right? Things you have as a child. Nostalgia is not comfort. Nostalgia is when you take food or beverage, a flavor, you tie it to a time and place in history. That is nostalgic food. Nostalgia is you take a nostalgic food or beverage and you put a twist on it. And so both of them psychologically are really good for motivation. You also have experiential. So functional beverages are an experience. Is it tapping into convenience? Is it part of their frictionless living? Maybe you're offering quick quality, right? The high quality, but you get it fast. Or sensorial sparks. That's anything extreme on the palate, like chili, citrus, etc. And with finances and inflation as it is, we are seeing more and more generational households because kids are moving back home. So maybe you offer versatility or multi-purpose food solutions when you're looking at homes with many generations. It could be an elevated culinary experience at home, but it's also saving them money. So there's many experiences that you can support that consumers are looking for. Now we're going to talk about foods and flavors. So bold flavors, why is the heat turning up and why aren't we having comfort food? So think back 2019 and earlier, pre-COVID, if we were having inflation as we are, this is a set of behaviors we would have expected. So the reaction on consumers' part is their fear level goes up, they emotionally shut down, they panic, and their motivation drops through the floor. Action-wise, they stop risk-taking, they don't want to explore or experiment. They are traveling less, staying close to home, and this is when comfort food, children's food, kind of comes into play. But COVID changed that. What COVID did is it raised the fear set point for everybody in the world, actually. So we are now less reactive, right? So we're cautious, but we're not emotionally shut down. We are stressed out, but we're not panicked. And our motivation has really been unaffected. So for actions, risk-taking is tempered but remains strong. Exploration and experimentation also remains strong. We absolutely are still traveling, and when we travel, that brings global flavors back into the United States. So we're seeing extremes on the palate, like I mentioned, citrus, chilies, heat, spice, all still up. And I want to introduce you to an affinity scale that fit with this conference. So let's look at just sauces. Affinity scales work where if something's low affinity, it does not mean it's bad. It might be difficult to understand, hard to get a hold of. Maybe it costs more. It's just a newer trend. If it's high affinity, that means the opposite. It's easy to understand. You can get it easily. It's very approachable. It's affordable, etc. So this first set, which is on the high side, you've got your hot honeys, which is actually part of the sweet fusion. So sweet fusions are spicy, salty, smoky, and swangy. Spicy is hot honey, it's sweet and spicy. Salty is sweet and salty, smoky is sweet and smoky, swangy is sweet and tangy. So think of like vinegars or citrus even. You also have things like chimichurri. You've got several sauces, very approachable, coming out of Mexico, regional barbecue. Fresh, bold, and bright is one of my favorites with balsamic blueberry salsas, mojo barbecues, orange ginger vinaigrettes, and then also flavored vinegars coming in. On the lower end, this is where you have more black garlic, you've got pica peppa, you've got Japan sauces coming in with yuzu, ponzu, things coming in from Korea, the Middle East, even China. So again, they're a little bit newer, not as familiar, and that's why they skew a little bit lower. But affinity scales over time, these will change. So all of our analytics move in time, right? So this is your snapshot, but this can move going forward. Let's talk about snacks just really quick and why are they replacing meal? Well, number one reason, by the way, is cost. So people are skipping meals and snacking instead, in part to save money. But there is another piece of the puzzle. So as spending goes down, snacking goes up, right? But the trick is it's healthy snacking that's going up. So they are looking for a meal replacement. So to align items as part of a healthy mini meal, the key is repositioning them intentionally, either through talking about balance, portion control, or even talking about how they're nutrient-rich pairings. Epicurean is the one that found that 39% increase in sales of healthy snacking category, and the sales rose again in 2024 to 43%. YouGov also found that consumers with snacking are looking for two things. Number one is what are the ingredients, and number two is they are looking for nutritional value. And now let's move to beverages. So we're going to talk about non-alcohol first, some of the leading categories, including non-alcohol spirits, functional, kombucha, premium waters, mocktails. So what is going on with them? With the non-alcohol craft beers and spirits, you're seeing high quality, complex alternates to traditional beers, whiskey, gins, and tequilas, offering depth of flavor, but without the alcohol. With functional, you're looking at infusing these products with adaptogens, nootropics, CBD, pre and probiotics, and they're really designed for mood. So relaxation, energy, clarity, or even gut health. With kombucha and other fermented drinks, they're naturally tangy. They're absolutely probiotic rich drinks, very unique flavor profiles, and it's balancing health benefits with bold flavors. With premium infused waters, you've got sparkling mineral or still waters infused with fruits, herbs, functional elements, really for hydration or a sensory twist. And then finally, the mocktails or zero proof. They're crafted with botanical syrups, fresh ingredients, really cool garnishes to mimic the depth and experience of cocktails. Let's switch to alcohol. Some of the leading categories. First one up is going to be next gen craft beer. And what we're seeing is hyper local brews, experimental flavors, innovative brewing techniques. With the crossover cocktails, we're blurring lines between spirits, beer, wine, and ready to drinks with some hybrid flavors. And then some of the low alcohol or session beverages, it's really balanced options with low alcohol content for moderation throughout the week, even on the weekend. And with heritage and nostalgic spirits, you're looking at classic and vintage inspired liquors with kind of a modern twist. And then sustainable and regenerative. So you've got eco-conscious brewing, distilling with upcycled ingredients even. It's really fun to see some of these products come out. So let's navigate the future. Fast casual takeover, beverages to engage. So we've got drivers. So you want to tap into convenience, acknowledge financial preservation, trust and safety, authenticity, and definitely escape. Who doesn't need a distraction during troubled times? So the behaviors. Consumers are creating hybrid meals at home. So what they're doing is they're integrating prepared foods, even deli foods, into meals, which is exactly where fast casual can engage with this behavior. Financial preservation. So like I said, they're skipping meals, they're replacing meals with snacks. They're also buying in bulk. So again, easy to engage any of these behaviors on the menu. Trust and safety. So they're attracted to the product's story, history, or origin because it grounds them. It makes them feel safe. And as I said, increases trust. Authenticity, they're seeking regional specialties, even global comfort foods. Again, it has this grounding, calming effect. And with escape, you're on the lookout for new flavors and experience, right? So it is a little escape for the moment. So psychological, it could be self-care or even inspirational, or extremes on the palate is a different way to go. So citrus, chilies, textures are another way to engage. So some final thoughts. Consumers value authenticity, convenience, and a sense of adventure in their food and beverage choices. Elevated experiences really make up that backbone of many trends, but it doesn't always mean it costs more. And global flavors are absolutely rising. So you're looking at travel influences, adventurous taste preferences. And you want to make sure you're cross-tying or layering trends within a concept because that will lengthen that product's life cycle. And from us, know the birth and life cycle of a trend prior to deciding to enter it so you can predict how to navigate it. And spend more time researching a trend's longevity and trajectory than worrying about what your competitors are doing. After all, they may be idiots. And here is that QR code for you. So that's a wrap. Thanks so much for watching. If you like a copy of the full version of this presentation, just scan the QR code on the screen. It'll take you to a quick request form. And if you have any questions or just want to chat more about what we covered, feel free to reach out using any of the contact information here. I would love to connect. Thanks so much.